Good evening, all.
Good evening, sir.
So we had completed 9 units, huh? Not time to complete this, lady. Not any
Sir?
time discussion, na? Management of 9th unit ଥିଲା ବ୍ଲକ 2 ଯାଏଁ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ୍ କରିଥିଲେ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ମୋବିଲାଇଜେସନ ଏ ସବୁ କହିଥିଲେ ଏବେ ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଫ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଆଡମିନିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଟିଭ ରିସୋର୍ସେସ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ ବ୍ଲକ 3 ଆଉ କେତେ ଟୋଟାଲ ବ୍ଲକ କେତେ ପାଞ୍ଚଟା ଟି
ହଁ ସାର୍ ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍ ମୋବିଲାଇଜେସନ ଟା ସେଟା ଜଷ୍ଟ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଇଥିଲା ତ
ହଁ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ମୋବିଲାଇଜେସନ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ମୋବିଲାଇଜେସନ କହିଥିଲି କହିଲି ନେକ୍ସଟ କ୍ଲାସକୁ ତମେ ଦେଖିଥିବ ଯଦି କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଥିବ ନହେଲେ ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଫ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ସପୋର୍ଟ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ପଢିବାକୁ କହିଥିଲି So, generally, for education system, we know that students can learn better if we provide them the proper environment, the proper resources. Okay. ଯଦି କିଛି ଭଏସ ବ୍ରେକ୍ ହବ ମତେ କହିବ ବୁଝିଲ କି is it clearly audible okay so so for education we know that we can get effective result if we will provide a proper learning environment to the learners okay so for providing learning environment we know that it is the responsibility of the stakeholders or the administrators as well as the education system but if you analyze the various forms of education like for formal informal non-formal so most of the non-formal learners they need more support because they are not physically present in the classroom they are not physically present in the institutions so for that purpose we need proper support system or the assistance that we need to learn effectively without or without present in the classroom okay so here our purpose is to motivate to encourage and to make use of the facilities that are providing to the learners for the learning so this is the support system that means how we are motivating how we are encouraging the learners how we are awareing the learners to make use of the facilities that are being provided to promote the learning okay so how we can provide opportunity to the learners how we are providing facilities to the learners to enhance their skills to enhance their abilities to enhance their academic progress okay and how they can participate actively in the teaching learning process that is the student support service so student support service is the basic facilities the basic motivation or the opportunities that we are providing for facilitating the learners learning for facilitating the academic development or academic enhancement of the learners okay so this is the chief component or uh, the chief objective of the student support system okay ବୁଝିଗଲ ତ? ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ସପୋର୍ଟ ସର୍ଭିସ ହଉଛି କଣ ନା ଯୋଉ ସର୍ଭିସ ରେ ଯୋଉ ଫାସିଲିଟି ଆମେ ଦଉଛେ ଯୋଉଥିରେ ଆମେ କଣ କରୁଛେ ନା ପର୍ପୋଜ ହଉଛି କଣ the academic progress, how we can enhance the academic progress of the learner. That is student support system or student support service. Okay? ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ତ ସପୋର୍ଟ ସର୍ଭିସ ଟା କଣ? ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ସପୋର୍ଟ ସର୍ଭିସ ଟା କଣ ବୁଝିପାରିଲ କି? ଆଚ୍ଛା। ମାନେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଛୁଆକୁ ସପୋର୍ଟ କରିବା ମାନେ କଣ ତାକୁ ତା ହାତ ଧରି ଲେଖିଦେବାନି ନା। ଆମେ ତାକୁ କେମିତି ଏନକରେଜ କରିବା ତାର ଯାହା ରିସୋର୍ସ ଆମେ ପ୍ରୋଭାଇଡ କରୁଛେ ତାକୁ ସେ କେମିତି ପ୍ରପରଲି ୟୁଟିଲାଇଜ କରିବ ନା ୟୁଟିଲାଇଜ କରିବ କଣ ପାଇଁ ନା ତାର ଏକାଡେମିକ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରେସ ପାଇଁ ହେଲା। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମେ କଣ ଦଉଛେ ନା ବେସିକ ସ୍କିଲ ଦଉଛେ ବେସିକ କମ୍ପିଟେନ୍ସି ଦଉଛେ ବେସିକ ନଲେଜ ଦଉଛେ ହେଲା। So that are related to the academic program. Okay. So academic program related ଆମେ ଯାହା ଦଉଛେ ଯାହା ଫାସିଲିଟି ଦଉଛେ ସେଟା ଆମେ କହୁଛେ କଣ ନା ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ସପୋର୍ଟ ସର୍ଭିସ। ଓକେ। So while we are talking about the student support service, distance education generally meant for the higher classes. In primary classes, we are not dealing with the distance education system. नहीं अरे क्लास 1 2 3 ଆମେ ଡିଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ କରିପାରିବା କି?
नहीं सर କରିପାରିବାନି।
ତ ଏଠି ଆମେ କଣ କରୁଛେ ନା ଯେତେବେଳେ ପିଲା ବଡ ହେଇଯାଉଛି ଆମେ ଖାଲି ଏନକରେଜ କରିପାରିବା କେବଳ ମିୟର ଏନକରେଜମେଣ୍ଟରେ ହେଇପାରିବ ସେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ସପୋର୍ଟ ସର୍ଭିସ କଥା କହୁଛେ ବୁଝିଲେ ତ? So nowadays, if you analyze the policy documents like NEP 2020 and other education documents, so there we know that in higher education we can pursue education in ODL mode. ना open and distance mode रे हम एजुकेशन नहीं परिवा नहीं अरे ओपन डिस्टेंस मोड नहीं परिवा ना
ହଁ ସାର୍।
so it is only meant for the professional courses and also in higher education courses. So here while we are integrating this distance education or open and distance learning system, then in education system or in instructional system, we want to integrate all things like the classroom, the engagement of teachers, laboratory work, group activity, internship programs. So we are only not focusing upon the classroom engagement. So here for this purpose we are focusing upon these counseling classes or we are focusing upon these classes where we can get maximum guidance, maximum opportunity to develop our potentialities. Okay. So this management system also in higher education depends upon the various components of learning and also in the higher education system we can also include all components of education since the orientation of courses till the evaluation of the results. Okay. So course orientation ରୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିକି evaluation, result publication, then guidance and counseling services, everything is being provided by the educational institutions to provide proper support system to the learners. Okay. So a number of questions may arise that whether we are providing adequate facilities, adequate opportunity to the learners or not, whether we are providing proper guidance to the learners or not. So this thing is also being analyzed here that how we can provide proper guidance, how we can provide proper instruction to the the learners. Okay, so bit by bit these are being analyzed. So how we can provide the curricular aspects as well as the co-curricular aspects in most of the higher education institutions, most of the courses that most of the institutions that are providing open and distance learning. So they are focusing upon the admission procedure, the teaching learning methods, assessment criteria to avoid the grade, avoid the mark, nah, procedure of admission system, then the professional competency of the teachers, then library work, laboratory work, examination schedule, nahi. So all details we are analyzing in higher education where we are providing the distance learning or the ODL learning. Okay. Then we have to analyze that how we are managing the student support system. So we know that initially we have discussed that in education system, if we are providing any kind of education, especially in higher education, we have to provide the support system to the learners first. Second thing, what we are doing, if we are providing support system, then what aspects we have to touch. नहीं ଆମେ ଯଦି support system ଦଉଛେ then କୋଉ କୋଉ aspect କୁ ଆମେ touch କରୁଛେ. So that thing we have to also discuss. Then if we are touching all the components, then what scholastic activities, what co-scholastic activities, or what scholastic things or scholastic processes we are keeping, we are touching while providing guidance to the learners or while we are providing support to the learners for their academic enhancement. And what are the post-scholastic activities? Like the learners, they can whether they can participate in various games, sports, and other post-scholastic activities or not. So the guidelines should be chalked out. Okay. Then if we are providing support system, then how we can provide support system? What are the various information that we are providing to the learners? So while you are taking admission, taking admission in the same education course. So where you got the information? Where you got the information related to the admission, related to the course, related to the teaching learning strategy, related to the evaluation system. नहीं तेरा सब तुम शिखी ना शिखना लिखित गाइडलाइन सब लिखा है ना आडे ब्रोचर गुड दउछ ना तम एम एजुकेशन बाई क्राइटेरिया कोन थिबो गोटे पिला कोन पढिले एम एजुकेशन कर परिबो एटा सब लिखा हितला लिखा नथिला
हाँ सर
हेलो सर प्रभास
सर
हां ये जाने ने को then while we are managing the subscription, so we know that subscription is a very we can say that the primary challenge of all educational heads or all institutional heads. Right? So it's a very important thing and also a challenge for all school heads, all institutional heads, that how we can manage the a large mass. नहीं ଗୋଟେ ଏତେ ବଡ଼ ମାସକୁ ଆମେ କେମିତି ମ୍ୟାନେଜ କରିବା ନାଇଁ so it's a very big challenge for all school heads or the administrators nahi तो बड़ चैलेंज ना ଗୋଟେ ଏତେ ବଡ଼ ପିଲା ଏତେ ଛୁଆ ଅଛନ୍ତି ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଚ୍ୟୁଟ ରୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଏରିଆ ରୁ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ କେମିତି ଆମେ ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ ପାସ୍ କରିବା ଆଜି ଏକ୍ଜାମ ହବ ଆଜି क्लास हम काउंसलिंग क्लास स्टार्ट हम ए होची ना होनी हेलो अरे भाई सब चैलेंज होची ना जेतेबेले बहुत गोटे लार्ज गैदरिंग होची वर्तमान तुम कहबा जे एम एजुकेशन रे आरसी रे 500 पिला अछंती 500 पिला इनफॉरमेशन केमि देबो क्लास स्टार्ट हबो समस्त मेल करो तो एडमिशन केमि दिया सब क्वेश्चन बचारिबे पचारिबे ऐसे पचारिबे ना जे प्रोसीजर कौन प्लान अच्छी कौन प्रोग्राम अच्छी tips we have to analyze. So,
सर आपको वॉइस क्लियर आସୁନି
hello ଅନ୍ୟକୁ ଅଡ଼ିବ ନା କେବଳ ଜଣକୁ
ନାଇଁ ସାର୍ ଏବେ ଗୋଟେ
ଭଏସ
ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ କହିଲେ ଆସିଲାନି କ୍ଲିୟର ଗୋଟେ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଯଦି ଭଏସ ମତେ କହିବେ ସେମିତି I'll repeat. So first we know that what are the information regarding the course. So if we are opening any then first of all we have to set some criteria that who can take admission, what should be the eligibility criteria for the learners. So for example, if you are opening a B.Ed course, then what should be the basic criteria or what should be the basic eligibility for the learners that who can take admission. Okay. So for this purpose, we have to plan, we have to prepare a blueprint that who can take admission and what are the generally we are providing a prospectus to the learners, nahi? That what how the students can register, how the students can pay their fees, how the students can upload the documents, and sometimes the document size also given in the the prospectus also, nahi? Generally I mean thousand na ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ନା hello ଆମେ
ସାର୍
prospectus
ସବୁ
ଆମେ ଦଉନେ
ନାହିଁ କିଛି
ଆବାଜ ଟିକେ ସାର୍ ରହି ରହି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଆସୁଛି ଅଧା କଥା।
ଭଏସ ତ ନେଟୱାର୍କ ତ ଠିକ ଠାକ ଶୁଣ
ସାର୍ କିଛି ଶୁଭୁ ନାହିଁ
ଏବେ ବି ଶୁଣାଯାଉନି
ନା
ଟିକେ ଟିକେ ହେଲେ ଏବେ ଶୁଣାଗଲା
ହଁ ସାର୍
ଏବେ ଶୁଣାଗଲା
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍
କ୍ଲିୟର କ୍ଲିୟର ତ ଓକେ ରୁହ ଟିକେ ଡନ୍ ଏବେ ଏବେ କ୍ଲିୟର ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ଆଚ୍ଛା so they're providing a guideline a procedure where we put all information like the program information, the registration procedure, the teaching learning strategies, the procedure to upload the documents. Nah, what should be the file size? What should be the documents that we have to upload? Then how we can get the study material? So everything is being provided in that particular guideline. नहीं ଫାଷ୍ଟ ହଉଛି ନା କୋର୍ସ ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଜାଣୁଛେ ସେତେବେଳେ କେମିତି ରେଜିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସନ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିକି ସବୁ ରିଲେଟେଡ ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ ଆମେ ଦେଇଦେଉଛୁ ସେଥିରେ ଦେଉନାହିଁ ତମାନେ ସମସ୍ତେ ପାଇଥିଲେ ତ ସମସ୍ତେ କୋର୍ସ ରିଲେଟେଡ ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ ପାଇଥିଲେ ନା ପାଇନଥିଲ
ହଁ ସାର୍
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍
କଣ ସମସ୍ତେ ଜଏନ୍ ହେଇକି ପଳେଇଲେ okay then admission related information we are also getting from the academic heads so those who will be the academic head or academic bosses so they will provide the admission related information and also they are providing the helpline number to take admission in the process if you are facing any problem related to admission issues related to admission then we are providing the information to the learners and the head is there support service is also there like the toll free number we are providing with this number you can connect to the admission officers that they will provide proper guidance to the learners so information we are providing the information uh, very clearly that the learners as well as any learner those who want to take admission at the time of enrollment or the time of collecting the fees so everything we are providing the support to the learners that they can easily access that okay so the basic things the basic criteria the basic guidelines we are providing to the learners and they will take admission without facing any challenge. So that is the support system we are providing. Okay. Then related to teaching learning strategy that after taking admission we are focusing upon the teaching learning strategy. ନା ଆମେ କରୁଛେ ନା admission ପରେ ଆମେ କଣ କରୁଛେ teaching learning strategy କଥା ଦେଖୁଛେ ନା ଯେ ପିଲା କେମିତି ପାଠ ପଢିବ so teaching learning strategy is also a very important aspect of each and every courses and in teaching learning strategy if you are analyzing the provisions or what are the modes just one second so the institutions they have a good plan they have a plan how to provide some counseling classes or the classes to facilitate the teaching learning process okay so the institutions they are planning regularly they are planning they are setting their target that how within that given period of time they can provide counseling classes to the learners and who will be the subject experts so that will be chosen by the institutions okay so annually or half yearly we are providing suppose if you have semester system then how many classes we have to provide what should be the criteria to provide the classes what are the credit points so on the basis of the credit points we are providing the counseling classes okay so our credit point କେତେ ଅଛି କେତେ class ନବା so everything is being discussed everything is being analyzed by the experts by the school heads, and accordingly they are providing the support systems, or they are providing the facilities to the learners to provide the good academic enhancement or good academic environment. Okay. Then after the teaching learning strategy, we are focusing upon the evaluation strategy. So whether we are providing continuous evaluation, whether we are providing terminal evaluation, what are the various criteria, what are the various modes. Okay. So that will also be discussed by the school heads. When I met the school head କଥା କହୁଛି ସେମାନେ after teaching learning strategy, we are saying that a project will be submitted, internal assessment assignments will be submitted. Then we can say that submission of the other what the records, like the some institution they are collecting the portfolios. Okay. ନା କିଛି portfolio ବି ସମସ୍ତେ collect କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା, ତ କିଛି institution portfolio collect କରୁଛନ୍ତି, କୋଉମାନେ assignment project କରୁଛନ୍ତି, କୋଉମାନେ internal assignment କଥା କହୁଛନ୍ତି, internal assessment କଥା କହୁଛନ୍ତି. So the learners will come to the institution and they will write something, write one or two questions. So this should also be discussed, and primary information should be given to the learners. Okay. So approaches may be vary, but what approach you are following, so that should be clearly uh, given to the learners. So there our purpose is to provide the opportunity to the learners to get maximum benefit from the system. So if you provide maximum opportunity, if you provide clear cut information to the learners, they will prepare themselves, and accordingly they will appear the examination. So evaluation strategy should be also be given to the learners. Then because before facing the examination, they have to understand that what he or she is going to face. ନା ଜଣେ କ'ଣ ଫେସ୍ କରିବାକୁ ଯାଉଛି ଇଭାଲୁଏସନ ପ୍ରୋସିଜିଅରରେ, ତାକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଆମେ ଫୋକସ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ. So there we have to understand the concept of our assessment process. Then what can be the term and papers, or we can say that what can be the facilities, or we can say the question papers, nature of question papers. And then we have to understand that what are the various provisions to evaluate the answer scripts, like 20% will be of internal, 30% will be of the semester, or 70% will be the project. So what may be the criteria? So that thing we also should be discussed by that should be informed to the learners. So evaluation criteria also a good a great provide impact greatly on the students' achievement. Okay, so that thing also be discussed, and if you will be the schoolers, then that should be also be clearly given to the learners. Like if you analyze the model curriculum, so there everything in details is also being given to the learners, that this much of mark, this much of credit, this type of evaluation will be given, or this type of evaluation should be there in the education system. ଏତିକି ପରସେଣ୍ଟ ଦିଆ ଆଟେଣ୍ଡାନ୍ସକୁ, ଏତିକି ପରସେଣ୍ଟ ମାର୍କ ଦିଆଯିବ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଟେଷ୍ଟକୁ, ଏତିକି ପରସେଣ୍ଟ ମାର୍କ ଦିଆହେବ କୋଉଠିକି ନା ସେ ଯେଉଁ ଡିବେଟ୍ କି କୁଇଜ୍ ଏଇଭଳିଆ ସବୁ ହେଇଥିବ. So that particular things should be given clearly provided to the learners. Then if you analyze the education system, the support service system, then we have to understand that at what level we are providing the support systems. Like what support services is given by the apex bodies or the regulatory bodies, like UGC, AICT, NCT. Right? So apex bodies, what services is given by the apex bodies at macro level. Then what are the support services that is being provided by the at the micro level, okay, or the institutional level. So institutional level ରେ କଣ ଦିଆଯିବ ସପୋର୍ଟ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଦିଆହେଲା କୋଉଠି ନା ଆପେକ୍ସ ଯୋଉଠି ରେଗୁଲେଟରୀ ବଡିଜ ଗୁଡାକ ହେଲା। ଯେମିତି ଆମେ ୟୁଜିସି କିଛି କିଛି ଗାଇଡଲାଇନ ପଠଉଛି ନା, ୟୁଜିସି ଗାଇଡଲାଇନ ପଠଉଛି, ନର୍ମ ପଠଉଛି ଏ ପିଲା କଣ ପଢିବ କଣ କରିବ ନାଇଁ। ଦେନ୍ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନ ମଧ୍ୟ କିଛି କିଛି ଗାଇଡଲାଇନ ପଠଉଛି, ଦେ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନ ଏଇଆ କରିବୁ। ସପୋଜ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ଗାଇଡଲାଇନ ଯେ ୟୁନିଫର୍ମ ଟା ୟୁନିଫର୍ମ ର ହାୟର ଏଜୁକେସନରେ ଭାରି କରୁଛି କି ଗୋଟେ ୟୁନିଫର୍ମ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର, ଆରେ ୟୁନିଫର୍ମ ଟା ଭାରି କରୁନି। ହ୍ୟାଲୋ,
ହଁ ସାର୍।
ତେଣୁ ଏଇଟା କଣ ୟୁଜିସି କହିଛି ୟୁନିଫର୍ମ ପିନ୍ଧିବାକୁ? ଆରେ ୟୁଜିସି କଣ ଏଇ ୟୁନିଫର୍ମ ପିନ୍ଧିବା ପାଇଁ କହିଛି କି? ଏଇଟା ଭାରି କରୁଛି ନା। So at macro level, we are saying that what should be the nature of education, the nature of a system of education. Then what can be the methodology, what materials we have to provide to the learners, what should be the assessment criteria. So everything in details is being provided by the apex bodies or the regulatory bodies. And at the micro level, we are planning to execute all the rules and regulations. So like the counseling classes, the meetings, the research activities, the innovative activities, right? And the admission procedures. So everything is being given, everything is being provided at the micro level or the institution level. To the teachers at each and every institutions, they will plan for the same. Okay. ସେମାନେ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ କରିବେ ମାଇକ୍ରୋ ଲେଭେଲରେ, ଯୋଉମାନେ ରେଗୁଲେଟରୀ ବଡି ମାନେ ଯାହା ଗାଇଡଲାଇନ ଦେଲେ, so that should be impacted at the micro level. ମାଇକ୍ରୋ ଲେଭେଲରେ ଯାହା କରାହେଲା ଏଇଟା ମାଇକ୍ରୋ ଲେଭେଲରେ ଦିଆହେଉଛି, କଣ ଇମ୍ପ୍ଲିମେଣ୍ଟ କରାହେଉଛି। So examination, how the examination can be conducted, how we can provide opportunity to the learners to write in the examination, who will supervise the examination procedure, will share the paper, will moderate the paper, नहीं क्वेश्चन पेपर किए तैयारी करियो, किए ताको रेक्टिफाई करियो बा मॉडरेट करियो नहीं, तापर जे स्टैंडर्ड करते हैं क्वेश्चन टाको। क्वेश्चन पेपर स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन होते हम कौन करते, क्वेश्चन पेपर तैयारी करियो, तापर ताको मॉडरेट कराहबो, मॉडरेट करा जियो माने तो देखा जियो जे ताको रेक्टिफाई कराहबो, बुझिला। देन where we can find out the examination centers, how we can set the invigilators, me. Then how we can send the what send the question papers or send the answer script to the evaluation centers, and there we have to manage that how we can uh, fairly evaluate the answer scripts, and then how we can fairly follow up the procedure of result declaration, right? So everything in details should be conducted by the school heads or the institutional heads. Huh? So most of the colleges in the universities, they are conducting this type of evaluation, and also they are publishing the results. Then in open and distance education system like the NIOS, IGNO, OSU, ଏମିତି ସବୁ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା IGNO, OSU, NIOS ଏମାନେ ସବୁ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା ନାଇଁ? IGNO, OSU ଏମାନେ ସବୁ ଦଉନାହାନ୍ତି distance education ହଁ? So here the institutions they are providing various services, but you are getting. So the IGNOR learners they are also getting various support services from the study centers, from the RCs, from the headquarters. नहीं अरे RC रू study center रू regional center रू सब सर्विस मिलती ना इन्हें हमार RC अच्छी कोठी भुवनेश्वर अच्छी अनुगुल अच्छी कोरापुट अच्छी हेडक्वार्टर टा कोठी अच्छी इग्नोर इग्नोर हेडक्वार्टर टा कोठी अच्छी
दिल्लीରେ
ଆଉ RC କେତେଟା ଅଛି ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ
ଚାରିଟା ଅଛି
ଚାରିଟା କୋଉଟା କୋଉଟା
ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ବ୍ରହ୍ମପୁର ସମ୍ବଲପୁର ଆଉ
ସମ୍ବଲପୁରରେ RC ଅଛି ଆରେ RC ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି ଅନୁଗୁଳ ଅଛି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି କୋରାପୁଟରେ ନା ତୋର ମାଇନର ଅଛି ଆଉ ତୁ କଣ ହେଇଥିବ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନି ତାହେଲେ let it you will check that okay then so the generally in headquarters general information the course instruction student admission so everything evaluation procedure so that is being provided at the headquarters but in regional centers they are providing the general information fees collecting fees training programs nahi administration finance then program activities like suppose you will face the divorce so there you have to go to the regional centers but study centers they are facilitating only like they will collect the assignment they will send the assignment for evaluation then they can also conduct examination the annual or the interim examination then they can attend the student queries ଯାହା ଅସୁବିଧା ହେଲା ସେ ଯୋଉ ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟର କୁ ଚାଲ ହଉଛି ନା ହଉନି ହଉଛି
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍
ଯାଇକି ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟର ପଚାରୁନ ସାର୍ କିଏ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ ପଇସା ଦେଇଦେଲୁ ଇଏ କଲୁ ସିଏ କଲୁ ପରୀକ୍ଷା କେବେ ହବ ରେଜଲ୍ଟ କୋଉଦିନ ବାହାରିବ କୁହନ୍ତୁ ଏବେ ହଉଛି ନା so this thing we are getting from the study centers okay then counseling classes the counseling classes may be face to face mode may be offline mode the lab activities like for science students they are going for lab activities ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ନା ଜାଣନ୍ତି ପିଲାମାନେ ସାଇନ୍ସ ପିଲାମାନେ ଲାବୋରେଟୋରୀ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କୁ ଯିବେ ନା ଯେନେ ଏମଏସସି କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଲାବୋରେଟୋରୀ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରୁନାହାନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ ସବୁ ଲ୍ୟାବ୍ କୁ ଯାଉନାହାନ୍ତି କଣ ପିଲା କେହି ନାହାନ୍ତି ନା କଣ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିପାରୁନି ଆଚ୍ଛା 2 2 4 6 7 8 ଜଣ ଅଛନ୍ତି but no one is responding then next thing is if you providing the support system then that should be adequate that should be efficient effective to the learners and also the we have taken an example of the various systems, the the headquarters, like the regional centers, study centers, what activity they will follow. Then, if you providing student support system, then at what dimension you are providing the support system. नहीं को dimension में तमें सब दाउचो कौन हमने support दाउचो. So these things we have to provide. These things we had also discussed. Then we have to discuss about the management of administrative system, administrative resources. So we know the concept of management. We know the process of management. Right? The management କଥା हम discussion करते ना. तो management कौन? Management system टा कौन? Management generally we know that it is a process where we are directing, we are organizing, we are administrating, we are controlling the activities of an institution. Okay, so it is a practice where we are doing all activities for smooth functioning of educational institutions. So while we are providing this we are discussing about this management, we know that it is a management. The management is not a simple term. It includes many processes from planning till supervision or planning till evaluation of activities. So everything is included under management, like planning, organizing, then executing, controlling, eh, then checking the objectives. So everything is being discussed under or being can be included under the management. So it is a group activity. It has a proper objectives. Then we can say that management is a social process. We have to include all stakeholders in the management process. We are providing various scopes for the stakeholders or the members that how they can smoothly run the institutions. Okay, so this is the process of management. That means how we are gathering, how we are planning all the things. Like if you are planning, first on the planning, na? So under management, if you are planning, then first we have to set the objective. That for this objective, for this purpose, we have developed the program. So for gathering the information, we have to plan properly. We have to prepare the objectives. We have to prepare the ends. Then accordingly, we have to develop the planning environment. Then on the basis of that, we have to evaluate. Then how we can evaluate that, whether the objective has been achieved or not, and how we can develop the strategy. So everything we have to plan in the, or we have to chalk out in the process of planning. Okay. Then also we have to plan how to implement the plan. So planning रे देखते कौन मैं केवल प्लान करदा माने नुह जे तो प्लान करियर प्रोसेस रे कौन ना जहाँ सेट कले ସେଇଟାକୁ ଆମେ କ'ଣ କରିବା ନା କେମିତି ତାକୁ ଏକ୍ଜିକ୍ୟୁଟ୍ କରିବା। So after planning, we are organizing. That means how we can organizing or how we can manage the process of execution of the plan. Suppose we have planned देखो मैनेजमेंट ଯେତେ କଥା আছে मैनेजमेंट ଟା ଗୋଟେ ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ପ୍ରୋସେସ ହୁଏନି। ତ मैनेजमेंट ଆମେ କୋଉଠୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା ନା ପ୍ଲାନ୍ ରୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିକି ଏକ୍ଜିକ୍ୟୁସନ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସବୁ କାମ କରିବା। ବୁଝିଲା? ତ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ ରେ ଏକ୍ଜିକ୍ୟୁସନ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସବୁ କାମ କରୁଛେ ତାମାନେ ଆମେ ଏଠି କ'ଣ କରୁଛେ ନା ସେଠି ଆମେ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜ କରୁଛେ, ଷ୍ଟାଫିଂ କରୁଛେ, ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟିଂ କରୁଛେ। ଯେତିକି ଯାହା ପ୍ଲାନ୍ କଲେ ସେ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ ଟାକୁ ଆମେ ପ୍ରପରଲି କେମିତି ଏକ୍ଜିକ୍ୟୁଟ୍ କରିବା। So that should be also included. Okay. So here in the process of planning we have to also organizing. That means here we have to know what should be the roles of the people, how we can arrange, how we can guide, how we can direct, how we can control. So all activities will be included under organizing. Okay. So here we have to do that who can be the stakeholders, who can take participation in the process, who can direct the like in the process of directing we know that leadership quality is also there, how the leaders are communicating with the other stakeholders, how we can motivate the members, how we can supervise, then how we can maintain cooperation, coordination among the members. Yeah. Then how we can control the activities, like we have to set some rules, regulations, standards, and we have to focus upon the particular process of setting the standard. Yeah. Then we can only control. So we can monitor. Okay. And also here we can also focus upon the proper the decision making. That if you have got the result, then what you will do, what decision you will take. Yeah. So this is the thing that we are taking into account in the process of management. But sometimes while we are focusing upon this management, we have to focus upon the administration also. Right? So generally, administration and management, these are the different things. Right? The administration and management समान अलग अलग। Administration और management दिले समान ना अलग अलग। Hello.
सर अलग अलग है।
How?
Sir, administration is more systematic and symmetrical.
अच्छा, but management?
No idea, sir.
अच्छा, देखो administration होची कौन ना generally while you are formulating the anything or in policy, so that time we can say that the administration. But management is a process where we are implementing the policy. Right? Suppose guideline is being given by the NCT or IGNO कौन से headquarter. So IGNO गोटे guideline दे देला कि सब पिला ऑफलाइन क्लास करेंगे जो those who are pursuing MA education they have to come for offline classes. So if they are coming for the offline classes, then the management is the managing body is there in the headquarter sorry the regional centers or the study centers that they will manage. That means as per the guidelines So how we'll plan for the activities, how we'll control the activities, how we'll follow the guidelines, how we'll direct control all the activities. So that is management. But while you're formulating the policy or while you're setting the standard, that is administration. Okay. So administration is broader than management. ବୁଝିଲେ ତ? ତ ପଲିସି ମେକିଂ ପଲିସି ଫର୍ମେସନ ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଆଡମିନିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସନ କଥା କହୁଛୁ। ତ ପଲିସି ଫର୍ମେସନ କଲା ମାନେ ଆମେ ଦଉଛୁ କଣ ନା ଏଇସବୁ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଗୁଡା ସବୁ ଦେଇ ଦଉଛେ ଯେ କଣ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହେଲା କଣ ନ୍ୟୁ ଥିଙ୍ଗ କଣ କରାଯିବ ତ ଏଇ କଣ ଜଷ୍ଟ 1 ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ସେ ଏଇ ଅନୁସାରେ ଆମେ ତିଆରି କରିଦଉଛୁ କଣ ଆଡମିନିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସନ ପ୍ରୋସେସ ଟା ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିଦଉଛୁ। ବଟ୍ ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ କଥା ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ ଯାହା ଗାଇଡଲାଇନ ଆସିଲା ସେ ଅନୁସାରେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ କେମିତି ଏକ୍ଜିକ୍ୟୁଟ କରୁଛେ ନାଇଁ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ କରୁଛେ ଏକ୍ଜିକ୍ୟୁଟ କରୁଛେ ଆଜ୍ ପର ଦ ଗାଇଡଲାଇନ୍ସ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ what that is management clear ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍।
ଆଚ୍ଛା then while we know that administration generally is done by the bodies the higher bodies like all at national level generally or the director level we are providing we are concerning about the administration like the UGC, AICT, NCT, NCRT नहीं so ଏମାନେ ସବୁ କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛୁ ଯେ କାହା ଉପରେ ଫୋକସ୍ କରୁଛି ନା ଆଡମିନିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସନ ଉପରେ ନାଇଁ but while we are focusing upon the administrative what we can say that management system so generally study centers they are managing all the things okay ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍।
ଆଚ୍ଛା just 1 second then how we can focus upon that who can be a good administrator ଜଣେ administrator କିଏ ହେଇପାରିବେ what are the various qualities or what are the various responsibility of a good administrator so administration is not a easy task being a principal or being a chairperson of a organization like UGC or NCRT NCT, it is not a easy task that he or she is the chairperson. So chairperson, being a chairperson requires various skills. Okay? So it is a very clear thing that on the basis of the nature of the work, we have to analyze, we have to study, we have to improve the condition of the work and accordingly we have to provide them or provide the proper education, proper skill to the concerned person. Okay. So here for a administrator, for an administrator, so we have to provide various resources. We have to provide various principles to the particular person. That being an administrator, we have to understand that what can be the possible objectives of a program. नहीं ଗୋଟେ particular program ର କଣ objective ହେଇପାରିବ नहीं particularly କଣ objective ହେଇପାରିବ ତାକୁ focus କରିବା ଦରକାର ବୁଝିଲା then ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପଡିବ କଣ ନା if we had set the objectives then we have to analyze that how we can organize the objective or for fulfilling the objectives what decisions or what activities we need. That means how stakeholders we have or how many members we have. So on the basis of the members, on the basis of the particular what we can say that on the basis of our human resources, how we are distributing the work, we live at that sector. So for example, if you are running an institution, running an program, then what can be the possible departments? ତମେ ଗୋଟେ କରିଦେଲେ କଣ ନା ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ ଗୋଟେ କରିଦେଲେ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ ରନ୍ କରିଦେଲେ ଆଡମିନିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଟର ହେଇଛ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ହେଲା କି ସ୍କୁଲ ହେଡ୍ ହେଲା ତ ସେଥିରେ କଣ କଣ ପସିବଲ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇପାରିବ ଫର ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ some of you are a school principal suppose or principal of a college okay so what you will do I think the new person Ajay Ajay to Ajay Kumar
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍
hello so Ajay Kumar ତମେ ଯଦି ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ହବ କଣ କରିବ କହିଲ
ସାର୍ ମାନେ ପ୍ରପର
କଣ
ଆରେଞ୍ଜମେଣ୍ଟ
କରିବ
ଫିଡବ୍ୟାକ୍ ବାଲାନ୍ସିଂ ମାନେ
କୁହ
ପ୍ରପର ୱେରେ ଯେମିତି ଆଡମିନିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସନ ହେଇପାରିବ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ଠୁ ନେଇକି ମାନେ ଆମର ଷ୍ଟାଫ ଭିତରେ ଯୋଉ କୋଅର୍ଡିନେସନ ତାକୁ ଆଉ ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ ସବୁ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ କେମିତି ହାଉ ଟୁ ମ୍ୟାନେଜ ଦ ଆଡମିନିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସନ ମାନେ ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ ଆଡମିନିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସନ ଗୋଟେ ପାର୍ଟ ଯେମିତି ଆମେ ତାକୁ ସ୍ମୁଥଲି ଯେମିତି ହେଇପାରିବ ସେଇଟା ସାର୍ ଟ୍ରାଏ କରିବି
ସ୍କୁଲ ଗଲେ ଇନ ଫ୍ୟୁଚର ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ଚାହିଁଲ ଯେ ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ତମ ଏରିଆରେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ଲେ ସ୍କୁଲ କରିବ ଗୋଟେ ଭଲ ବଡ ପ୍ଲେ ସ୍କୁଲ କରିବ ହେଲା ତ କଣ କରିବ ସେଠି
ସାର୍ ପ୍ରଥମେ ତ ତମର ରେଜିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସନ ଆମର କରିବା ପାଇଁ ପଡିବ COR ଆଉ ତାପରେ ପରମିଶନ ନେଲା ପରେ ସ୍କୁଲ ଓପନିଂ ହବ ତାପରେ ଷ୍ଟାଫ ରିକ୍ରୁଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଯୋଉମାନେ ଏଲିଜିବଲ ମାନେ ପ୍ରପର ଯୋଉମାନଙ୍କର ଏଲିଜିବିଲିଟି ଥିବ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ନିଆଯିବ ଟିଚିଂ ଷ୍ଟାଫ ନନ୍ ଟିଚିଂ ଷ୍ଟାଫ ଆଉ ତାପରେ ପ୍ରପର ଗାଇଡଲାଇନ୍ସ ରୁଲ ଆଣ୍ଡ ରେଗୁଲେସନ ଗାଇଡଲାଇନ୍ସ ଯାହା ବି ସବୁ ସେ ସବୁ ରହିକି ତାପରେ ସେଇ ୱେରେ ସ୍କୁଲଟା ରନିଂ କରାଯିବ
ଆଚ୍ଛା ତାହେଲେ କହୁଛ କି ତମେ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ଯେ କରିବ ପ୍ରଥମେ ଜାଣିବ ଯେ କୋଉ କ୍ଲାସରୁ କୋଉ କ୍ଲାସ ଯାଏଁ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ପଢେଇବ ଏଇଟା ଫାଷ୍ଟ କରିବ ନା କୋଉ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
କ୍ଲାସରୁ କୋଉ କ୍ଲାସ ଯାଏଁ କରିବ କୋଉଠି ସ୍କୁଲଟା କରିବ ତା କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ କଣ ହବ ପୁଣି ସେଠୁ ପିଲା ପଢି ସାରିଲା ପରେ କଣ କରିବେ ନାଇଁ ତମେ ମାନଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ आईसीएसई स्कूल खोलदेल किंतु आउ आईसीएसई रे कौन स्कूल नहीं तो पिला क्लास 2 पर्यंत खोलदेल क्लास 3 पिला चले गवर्नमेंट स्कूल को नहीं बेकार कुंतु जाइଥିଲା से जो दिल्ली स्कूल रे पढ़ी गेला पुणी आसी ओडिशा स्कूल रे पढ़लानी सीबीएसई ओडिशा से स्कूल एंड मास एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट 5 वर्ष भीतर पिला पुणी कौन शिक्षा से एक्स्ट्राटा नहीं द ऑब्जेक्टिव शुड बी very clear. The objective should be generally long term objective should be given, and accordingly we have to organize all the activities. Then for fulfilling the objectives, we have to understand that how many members I have. नहीं ମୋ ପାଖରେ କେତେ ମେମ୍ବର ଅଛନ୍ତି କେତେ ଷ୍ଟେକ୍ ହୋଲ୍ଡର ଅଛନ୍ତି नहीं so that we have to also analyze. Then we have to motivate, we have to communicate the team, the various departments, like some of members will be in admission, some of will be in academic part, some of will be the examination, nahi some of will be for marketing. सब चलिए ना मार्केटिंग रे किए रहइबो से एडवर्टाइजमेंट रे किए कर रहइबो so that thing we have to analyze. Then how we are communicating, how we are motivating the team, nahi for various works. Then we have to analyze that how we are evaluating, how we are assessing the performance of all stakeholders, okay, including you. नहीं तुमको नहीं कि मध्य केमती हमें करछु कोन ना एनालिसिस करछु जे कोन हम ऑब्जेक्टिव थिले कोन हमें काम करले that thing we have to analyze. Okay. Then if you are analyzing the human resources, generally a school or an institution have the stakeholders like the teachers, students, support staffs. Nah, okay. So then we have to understand that who are the stakeholders. Like all stakeholders are the human resources. So human resources generally we have to understand that what is the efficiency or what is the attributes of the stakeholders. So stakeholder मानकर attribute गुड़ा कौन अच्छी तांगा efficiency कौन अच्छी. So accordingly we have to understand that in which sector they are fit. The core sector is an fit isn't, so that thing we have to analyze. So managing human resource is not a simple task. So if you will plan, if you will motivate, and as per their ability, if you will give them the task, then the institution will run smoothly. So for that purpose, we have to focus upon their leadership style, their approaches, their importance, and also their freedom, motivation. So everything should be analyzed. Like for example, leadership. So as an administrator, if you only lead the institution, then you can't. So if you are leading, then from different heads, you have to also create leaders. ଜଣେ ଯଦି ସେନା ଗୋଟେ ଯଦି ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ଚାଲିଛି ମାନେ ସେନାପତି ଜଣେ ଖାଲି ଇନଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ସନ ଦେଇ ଦଉଛି but different heads are there. ତ କିଏ ଯେନେ କହୁଛି ନୌସେନା ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଏସବୁ ତାର ବାୟୁସେନା ମୁଖ୍ୟ ନାଇଁ ସେ କରୁଛି ନା କରୁନି So they are the leaders. And while we are distributing the works, then we have to understand that what are the various capacity of the members or capacity of the stakeholders. So accordingly, we are providing them the different departments. So କିଏ କୋଉ department ରେ ଭଲ କରିପାରିବ. Then we are encouraging them. We are focusing in their motivation. We are providing their freedom, providing opportunity for their freedom. Okay. So that is the process of managing the human resources. And how we are communicating with the stakeholders. So communication କେମିତି ଆମେ stakeholder ଭିତରେ କରୁଛେ ନାଇଁ so communication କେମିତି କରିବା ନା generally this should be very cooperative coordination nahin? So if proper communication can be happen, then the objective can be attained. So whatever message we are providing, that should be very clear, that should be very friendly, and if you are communicating, then the communication should be very sober in nature. Okay? So you may be the administrator, you may be the principal, but it is very essential to be polite. Principal माने तमे मनोर principal है गला तो being a principal is not important. So how friendly environment you are creating, hey, that is important. So then you have to analyze the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. SWOT analysis. That means a planning or it is a technique used to develop or used to help a person or any organization to identify these four terms: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Yeah. The SWOT analysis. So it is a planning. It is a very important technique. So what it will do? It will help the person or organization to identify the four things. So here, this analysis helps to assess the performance of the organization, the performance of the entire process. The entire process ଆମ ପାଖରେ କଣ ଥିଲା କଣ ଆମ ପାଖରେ strength ଅଛି କଣ weakness ଅଛି ନାଇଁ so everything can be done. Okay, everything can be assessed through this process. Just 1 second, ଟିକେ ଗୋଟେ second. Okay, so this SWOT analysis generally it is we are focusing upon our strength, like what are the excellence, what is the result, what is the activities we get, or what are the extraordinary things we get from the system. Then what supports we have get, what are the uh, achievements in various scholastic and co-scholastic activities. So this is our strength. The weakness generally by providing, suppose if you are saying that weakness, so here weakness we can say it is the disadvantages due to various reasons. Okay, so in weakness we have to show the insufficiency, or we can say that we have to show the various challenges. Okay, so like generally the inadequacy of project, inadequacy of different infrastructural facilities, but opportunity generally develops, like these are the various we can say that this is the various long-term things, or we can how we can get the positive things or the elements that will help to enhance the objective of the institution. Then last one is the threat, like what things we lost, hmm, and what things we lost in an institution. So like the reputations, the elements that cause the trouble, hmm, that is the threat. So the cause or the troubles that we are facing in while we are running an institution, that is the threat. So like if you have the teachers that who are going to retire, okay, so this is also a threat, because we need the experienced teachers, the quality teachers. So due to various reasons, if due to the age-related factor or due to anything, if they are leaving the job, so that is also a threat. So that thing we have to analyze. Then the quality of resources we have to focus upon, the proper training of teachers, orientation of teachers. Okay. So here quality resources refers to the quality of teachers, the quality of in terms of human resources, the quality of teachers and the quality of learners. So how we can develop the learners' performance as well as the teacher performance. So for the learners' performance, we need good teachers. So for that purpose, we have to focus upon the proper training, orientation. Hmm. Then the financial resources, like what are the uh, what are the sources that from that we can get the finance, we can get the assistance for finance. Okay, so due to this fact, some institution may fail to run effectively. Okay, so financial resources is also important. So like in government institution, we are focusing upon the granting system. The grant will be given by the various government bodies, but for private institutions, for self-financing courses, we have to collect the fees by our by from the students or from the parents. Okay, so the parents or the students will provide the fees. So this is also a matter that we have to focus upon, these financial resources. Infrastructural facilities also system. That means how we can get the infrastructural facilities that is as a resource. What infrastructure we have, like the classroom, playground, drinking water facilities, science lab, then library, the the ICT classrooms, okay, toilets. nahi? So on the basis of the students or on the basis of the population, we have to provide them the facilities. So the infrastructural development is also a matters for the academic enrichment. Okay. So for that purpose, we have to also organize all the things like starting from the teaching aids till the office equipments like games equipment, sports equipment, laboratory equipment. So all things should be properly managed, and also the ICT resources. Okay. The ICT resources should also be take that nowadays if you analyze the open and distance education system, so that thing also ICT also matters, because nowadays if you only focus upon the traditional classrooms, traditional method, we can't provide them proper training, better training. That's why we have to go for the ICT. We have to focus upon the ICT labs, the ICT equipment. Okay. So ICT resources are also equally important for the educational institutions, and it is also the responsibility of the administrators to provide adequate facilities, adequate ICT resources to the learners. Okay, it is also a very important fact. Then managing human resources is also very important. Like who are the human resources, or what are the generally in economics we are saying that that is labor, right? But in education we are saying that human resources. So human resource includes generally if you go for the quality human resources, if you are going for the good human resources, so the human, suppose we have 100 number of laborers, but they are unskilled. So it is not, they can be as efficient as a one skilled labor. Okay, so ଯଦି 100ଟା unskilled labor ଯଦି ଆମେ ଶୁଣୁଛେ ନା human resource କଥା ଯଦି ଆମେ କହିବା, ଯୋଉମାନେ skilled or competent they are the good human resources. ଶୁଣିଥିବ ତମେ 18 ଜଣ ଯାଇଥିଲେ ସବୁ ଓଲା ଲୋକ, ଯୋଉ ଓଲା ଯାଇନଥିଲେ 18 ଜଣ ଯାଇଥିଲେ, ବାଟରେ ଆସୁ ଆସୁ ଗୋଟେ ଛୁଞ୍ଚିଟେ ପାଇଲେ, ଶୁଣିଛ ନା ଶୁଣିନ ଏଇ କାହାଣୀଟା?
ନାଇଁ ସାର୍।
ଜାଣିନ 18 ଜଣ ସବୁ ଓଲା ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ ତ, ପୋଲିସ ବୁଝିଲ ତ? ହଁ ମାରିଲେ ସିନା କପଡା କହିବି
ହଁ ସାର୍।
ହେଲା, ସମସ୍ତେ ଯାଇଥିଲେ
ସେ ଶୁଭୁନି କିଛି। ସାର୍ କିଛି ଶୁଭୁନି।
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
ହଁ ସାର୍ ଶୁଭିଲେ ଏବେ।
ହଁ ଶୁଣ, ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ଭଏସ ବ୍ରେକ୍ ହେଲା,
ସାର୍ ଶୁଭୁନି।
ଶୁଣାଯାଉନି ଏବେ ବି? ଏବେ
ହଁ
କ୍ଲିୟର
ଏବେ ଟିକେ
ବ୍ରେକ୍ ହଉଛି?
ହଁ ସାର୍ ବ୍ରେକ୍ ହଉଛି। ଆଜ୍ଞା
ବୋଲେ ଏବେ ତ ଠିକ ଠାକ, ତମର ତ ବ୍ରେକ୍ ହଉଛି ହେଲା। ଆଉ କାହାକୁ ଠିକ ଠାକ ଶୁଣାଯାଉଛି ନା ବ୍ରେକ୍ ହଉଛି? ଅନ୍ୟ ଜଣ କହିଲ।
ଏବେ ଶୁଭିଲା ସାର୍।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ତେବେ 18 ଜଣ ଯାଇଥିଲେ ବାଟରେ ଆସିବାରୁ ଛୁଞ୍ଚି ପଇଲେ ହେଲା କି? ସେ 18 ଜଣ ଗଲା ସିଏ ସବୁ କହିଲେ କି ଆଉ ଛୁଞ୍ଚିଟା ଘରକୁ ନେଇକି ଯିବାର ଅଛି। କହିଲେ ତୁ ଉଠା, ଇଏ କହିଲେ ତୁ ଉଠା। କହିଲେ ମୁଁ କାହିଁ ଉଠେଇକି ନେଇଯିବି, ସମସ୍ତେ ପାଇଛି ମାନେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ସେୟାର ଅଛି ନା। ଗୋଟେ କାମ କର ଆଉ ସମସ୍ତେ ଇକ୍ୱାଲି ଉଠେଇବାକୁ ପଡିବ। କେମିତି ଉଠେଇଲେ, ଗୋଟେ ବଡ ତାଳ ଗଛଟେ ହାଣିଲେ ହେଲା। ତାଳ ଗଛରେ ଛୁଞ୍ଚିଟାକୁ ଖୋସିଲେ, ମାନେ ଛୁଞ୍ଚିଟା ମାରିଦେଲେ ତାଳ ଗଛରେ। ତାପରେ ତାକୁ ଉଠେଇକି ନେଇକି ଆସିଲେ, ବୁଝିହେଲା। ତେଣୁ ଛୁଞ୍ଚିଟା ଜଣେ କିଏ ଧରିକି ଆସିବ କାହିଁକି, ସମସ୍ତେ ଇକ୍ୱାଲି ମାନେ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁସନ ରହିବ କାମର, ଇକ୍ୱାଲି ଏନଗେଜ ରହିବେ। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଏଇ 18 ଜଣ ଯାକ ସେ ଗୋଟିଏ ଛୁଞ୍ଚି ଧରିକି ଆସିଲେ, ବୁଝିହେଲା। କୋଉଥିରେ, ନା ତାଳ ଗଛରେ। ତାଳ ଗଛରେ କଟା ହେଲା, ତାକୁ ତା ଭିତରେ ଥୋଇଲେ ଧରିକି ଆସିଲେ। ତ ଏଇମାନେ ଅଛନ୍ତି କଣ ନା ସ୍କିଲ୍ ଲେବର, ନାଇଁ? ଏଇମାନେ ସ୍କିଲ୍ ଲେବର ନା।
ଅନସ୍କିଲ୍ଡ ହବନି।
ଅନସ୍କିଲ୍ ଯେ ଏମାନେ ଅନସ୍କିଲ୍ ହେଇଗଲେ। କାମର ଇକ୍ୱାଲ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁସନ ହେଲା, ସେ କେମିତି ଜାଣିବେ?
କାମଟା ବଡ ହେଇଥିଲେ ସିନା ଇକ୍ୱାଲି ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁଟ କରିଥାନ୍ତେ, ଏମିତି ଛୋଟ କାମକୁ ବାଣ୍ଟିଲେ ସେ ଆହୁରି କମ୍ପ୍ଲିକେଟେଡ ହେଇଯିବ।
ଆଚ୍ଛା, ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ ରିସୋର୍ସ ଆମେ ରଖୁଛେ, ଏଇଭଳିଆ ସବୁ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ ରିସୋର୍ସ ରଖିବା ଦରକାର, ନାଇଁ? ପାୱାରଫୁଲ ଲୋକ ଗୁଡା ନା, ତେଣୁ ଏଠି ଆମେ ଦେଖିଲେ କଣ ନା ଯେ ଏମାନଙ୍କର ନଲେଜ ନାହିଁ, ସ୍କିଲ୍ ନାହିଁ, ନାଇଁ? So they fail to know that how we can do a work smoothly, effectively by using less human resource. So generally, good human resource includes the skills, competency, knowledge, ability, creativity, accountability, leadership. Right? So these things we have to focus. Okay. So for this reason, we have to understand that what contributes or what are the key features, what are the key characteristics of a good human being. Okay. So generally, while we are focusing upon these human resources, so human resource management, it creates a feeling of belongingness, a feeling of team spirit, na? The team spirit, it, the ethical policies, it maintains a good moral standard, nahi? Resources. So we have to focus upon high quality human, the members, and also we have to maintain the moral and good human relation within the organization. That means here, if you are doing any activity, it is not the activity of a single person, rather it is a collective thing, that all are equally responsible for doing any activity. Okay, so it is not only the responsibility of the school heads or the management committee. So equally all are responsible. So if challenge is coming, then each and everyone should stand together. Okay. So this is the thing that we need in the human beings or the stakeholders. Okay. So that's why we are managing the human resources. To professional level, at organizational level, we are also providing various skills or various guidelines how to manage the human resources. Okay, so and then while we are managing, then we have to focus upon the job analysis. So what jobs the human being are doing, or in what sector we are engaging the human resources, and what are the requirements for engaging any human at any job. That means the job description should be given, or the job analysis should be there. And as per their ability, focus upon we have to engage them in various jobs. Okay, job description, job data. Then we have to focus upon the specification of the different jobs. So that thing we have to focus. Then we have to focus upon the recruitment process of the staffing. That means the starting from the job description to the identification and applying the selection procedure, as well as the assessing the results. So that should also be focused, like while we are providing advertisement for recurring or staffing. So we have to describe the job. So suppose I want a labor. So for what purpose I am wanting the labor? So who can do that work? Generally, human resource means in economics we are saying that there is a labor. नहीं, human resource ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ କହୁଛେ economics ତ labor କହୁଛେ, economics labor ତ କହନ୍ତି ନା, labor ର କାମ ସବୁ ଅଲଗା ଅଲଗା. So for what purpose we are requiring, or we are wanting the labors? The job should be clearly described. We have to focus upon the advertisement process. Then who are the applicant? We have to screen them, like while an application has been received. Then the employer, they have to appoint a screening committee to choose the eligible candidates. Then we have to focus upon the behavioral characteristics, like who are fit for the selection procedure. Then we have to identify, we have to conduct interview and select. Then after the interview, we have to assessing the results. Interview सरीगला, interview सरला ପରେ कोउମାନେ select ହେବେ. So that thing we have to analyze. Okay, ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି ତ?
ହଁ ସାର୍।
ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିକି ସିଲେକ୍ସନ ପ୍ରୋସିଜର କରୁଛନ୍ତି, that is the process of selection, a process of staffing. Okay, then if you are staffing, if you have selected, then how you have developed their capacities, how you want to develop their abilities. Okay, then how we can focus upon the process of staff development, like how we can provide them the training, how we can provide them the, how we can orient them regarding their works, how we can orient them there regarding their what, regarding the objective of the institution. Then how we can plan for the various activities. So accordingly we have to provide them the training, and also we have to engage them in various fields. Okay, so that is the process of staffing. Then if we are focusing upon the staff recruitment, then we have to analyze that how we can motivate them. like mainly some incentives are there, some rewards are also there. So on the basis of the reward, the incentives, so we can collect or we can get more results. Okay, so encouraging them, communicating with them, we have to organize, we have to focus upon their strength and weakness, and also we have to understand their challenges. Yeah. We have to study their challenges, and accordingly we have to provide them the moral support. Okay, so maintaining that, only we can focus upon the good result. Okay, then if you analyze the process of supervision, like once you have, suppose in an organization you have selected some members for recruitment, okay, or selected some members to work in your organization. Then, without supervision, you can't get maximum outcome. So, for maximum outcome, you have to focus upon the process of supervision. Like while we are supervising, so how we can specify the activities, how we can decide the time schedule, okay? Then you have to set down the norms, the standards, then assigning the activities. So as per the norms, as per the standard, we have to assign the activities, and then after assignment the activities, we have to supervise. Like once I have, suppose I am taking the classes, so recording is also going on. So the authorities, they will, suppose they have selected that I will take the classes of this educational management. Okay. So if I'm teaching, then in the class what I am teaching, whether the learners have joined only and without participation they are only uh, attending the classes, or the teacher is teaching or not. So that thing should be supervised by the authorities. Okay. So like in the educational institution, the heads, they have to observe, they have to interact with the staff, they have to focus upon the review. Okay, and accordingly they have to focus upon the corrective measures. Then what performance the staff are doing, so par is there, performance appraisal report, so that should be also filled, because in that particular performance appraisal we can know that during 1 year how much salary we have given, and how much the staffs are doing, or what is their performance. So this thing we have to focus upon while we are supervising the staff. So performance appraisal is also a very important thing, that during this 1 year I had did these things, I had done these things. ତ ମୁଁ ଏଇ ଗୋଟେ ବର୍ଷ ଭିତରେ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ କାମ କଲି, ମୋ ପରଫର୍ମାନ୍ସଟା କ'ଣ ଅଛି, so this should also be analyzed. Okay, ଯଦି ଆମେ ପରଫର୍ମାନ୍ସ ଆପ୍ରାଇଜାଲ କଥା ଚିନ୍ତା କରିବା, so ଏଠି ହବ କ'ଣ ନା ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ଟିଚର ଭିତରେ ରିଲେସନ କ'ଣ ଅଛି, କ୍ୟାରିୟର ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ କ'ଣ ହେଇପାରିବ, ଦେନ୍ ଗୋଟେ କ'ଣ ନାଇଁ, each and everyone will be very punctual, very sincere regarding their duties, their responsibilities. Okay, so the strength, weakness, that can also be uh, that can also be shown to the authorities. Okay, so accordingly we may get the career enhancement, we can get the what a reward. Okay, we can get the reward for our work. So maybe our potentiality can be developed through various training programs, various but plans or seminar workshops we can attend to enhance our career. So that thing we have to focus. Then generally in terms of the contractual system, generally we are focusing upon that within 1 year, but a particular person has done. Okay, so whether we'll go for that person or we have to go for the fresh recruitment. Yeah. So that thing we have to focus and accordingly we'll gain the outcome, will gain the result. So this thing we have uh, focused in the process of the staffing or the performance appraisal of the staffs. Okay. Then the next thing is that how we can focus upon this organizational development, how we can focus upon this organizational enhancement process. So this is a system where we are focusing upon the planning, we are focusing upon the identifying the particular problem and how we can focus, how we can provide the specific intervention, how we can build the collaborative culture, and how we can develop the internal resources. So while we are focusing upon this organizational development or the institutional development, so there we have to focus upon the process of managing or identifying the problems till the supervision or we can say that the implementation of remedial measures. Yeah, implementing starting from problem identification till development of the resources is a very important phase of organizational development. So if you are staffing, then your purpose is to know that what is the nature of your organization. Then you have to identify what are the key problems. Then after knowing the key problem, you have to provide specific intervention like what intervention. Suppose like in evaluation we had also discussed like diagnostic evaluation. So after you know that this is the key problem. Suppose you know that this is the key problem. So if you know the key problem, then accordingly you have to provide the intervention. So in formative evaluation, you know that this is the weakness, and accordingly we are providing them intervention and going for the summative evaluation. ଯେମିତି ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ଯେ ଜଣେ ଯଦି ତିଆରି କଲା କ'ଣ ନା ସେ ଯୋଉ ସୁପ୍ ତିଆରି କରୁଛି କି ଆମର କ'ଣ ନା ସେଫ୍ ତିଆରି କଲା ତରକାରୀଟା ନାଇଁ ଲୁଣ ହେଇଛି ନା ନାଇଁ କି କ'ଣ ରାଗ ପଡ଼ିବ ଖଟା ପଡ଼ିବ କ'ଣ ପଡ଼ିବ ଆରେ ସେ ଗୁଚୁ ବାଲା ଆରେ ଗୁଚୁ ବାଲା ଯେତେବେଳେ ତିଆରି କରୁଛି ନା ପାଣି ତିଆରି କରୁଛି ଖଟା ପାଣି ଗୁଚୁ ଖାଇছে ନା ପାନିପୁରୀ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଖାଉଛ ସବୁ ପକଉଛ ନା ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ସେ ଖଟା ପୁଦିନା ପତ୍ର ଲୁଣ ସବୁ ପଡୁଛି ଏମାନେ ସବୁ ଗୁଚୁ ଖାଇଛନ୍ତି ଶୁଭସ୍ମିତା ରୋଜାଲିନ ଆଉ କି ଖାଇନାହାନ୍ତି ଚନ୍ଦ୍ରିକା ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଖାଇଛନ୍ତି ନା ଖାଇନାହାନ୍ତି ଆଚ୍ଛା ହଁ ଖାଇଛନ୍ତି ଓ ରେଡି। ତାହେଲେ ସେଥିରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ତିଆରି କରୁଛେ କଣ ନା ଖଟା ପାଣି ତିଆରି ହଉଛି। ଖଟା ପାଣି ତିଆରି କଲା ବେଳେ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ନେଇକି ଟିକେ ଟେଷ୍ଟ କରାହଉଛି। ଲୁଣ ପଡିବ ନା ପଡିବନି ଯଦି ଜାଣିଲେ ଏଇଟା ଯୋଉଟା ୱିକନେସ୍ ଯାହା ଅଛି ମାନେ କହିବେ ଲୁଣ ଟିକେ ଅଭାବ ଅଛି ଲୁଣ ଟିକେ ପକେଇଦବା। ଖଟା ଟିକେ ଲାଗୁନି ଆଉ ଟିକେ ଖଟା ପଡିବ ହେଲା ରାଗ ନାହିଁ ଆଉ ଟିକେ ଲଙ୍କା ପଡିବ। ଏଇ ଯୋଉଟା ହେଲା ଏଇଟା ହେଲା କଣ ଫର୍ମାଟିଭ ତାମାନେ ଫର୍ମାଟିଭ ଆମେ ଟେଷ୍ଟ କରୁଛେ। ଖଟା ପାଣି ଟା ଠିକ ଅଛି ନା ନାଇଁ। ଯଦି ଦେଖିଲେ ଯେ କୋଉଠି ଲୁଣ ଅଭାବ ହେଲା କଣ ହେଲା ସେଠି ଡାଇଗ୍ନୋଷ୍ଟିକ କଲେ। ଏକ୍ଜାକ୍ଟଲି ତାପରେ ଆମେ ସର୍ଭ କଲେ କାହାକୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ପିଲା ସବୁ ଟୋଲା ଧରିକି ଠିଆ ହେଇଥିବେ ନାଇଁ ଚାରିପଟ ଯାକ। ତେଣୁ ସେଇଟା ହେଲା ସମାଟିଭ ସିଏ ହେଠୁ କହିବେ ନାଇଁ ଅଙ୍କଲ ରେଡି ପୁରା। ଜବରଦସ୍ତ ଲାଜବାବ ନାଇଁ ଏକ୍ସଲେଣ୍ଟ ସବୁ କହୁଛି ନା କହୁନି। ରାଗ ଲାଗିଲା ସିଏ କହୁଛି ନା କହୁନି କି ଆଉ ଟିକେ ଲୁଣ ପଡିବ କି ଆଉ ଟିକେ ସେ ପିଆଜ ପକା କହୁନା ଆମେ। ତୁ ଖାଇଲେ ଖାଇଲା ବେଳେ ଠିକ କହିବ ନା। ତେଣୁ ଏଇଟା ହେଲା କଣ ନା ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ଯେ ବାସ୍ତବରେ ଏଇ ଫର୍ମାଟିଭ ଇଭାଲୁଏସନରେ ଆମେ ଫୋକସ କରୁଛେ ଯେ କଣ ଆମ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଂଥ ୱିକନେସ୍ କଣ ହେଲା ସେଇ ଆକର୍ଡିଙ୍ଗଲି ଆମେ ରିମେଡିଆଲ ମେଜରଟା ଦଉଛେ। ତାପରେ ଆମେ ସମିଟିଭ କଥା ଚିନ୍ତା କରୁଛେ। ତେଣୁ ଏଇଠି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଇନଷ୍ଟିଚ୍ୟୁସନାଲ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ କଥା ବି କହୁଛେ ସେମ୍ ପ୍ରୋସିଡିୟର। ଆମେ ଦେଖିଲେ ଯେ ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଫାଇ କରିଦେଲେ କଣ କଣ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ଅଛି ଇଣ୍ଟରଭେନସନ ଦେଇଦେଲେ ତାପରେ ଦେଖୁଛି କଣ ନା ଯାହା ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ବାହାରିଲା ସେଇ ଆକର୍ଡିଙ୍ଗଲି ଆମେ କିଛି ରିସୋର୍ସ ଡେଭଲପ୍ କରିଦଉଛେ। ସେ ମନେକର ଦେଖିଲେ ଯେ କ୍ଲାସ ରୁମରେ ପଛ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉନି ପଛରେ କିଛି ପିଲା ବସିଥିବେ ଟିଚରଙ୍କ ଭଏସ ବି ଯାଇପାରୁନି କାହିଁକି ଡ୍ୟୁ ଟୁ ଲାର୍ଜ କ୍ଲାସ। ଦେଖିଲେ ଆମେ ଦିଟା ଟିଚର ଦିଟା ସେକ୍ସନ କରିପାରିବେନି ଆମ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ଏତେ ଅର୍ଥ ନାହିଁ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସିଆଲ କନଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି। ଯଦି ଏଇ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସିଆଲ କନଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି ଆମେ ଫୋକସ କଣ କରିବା ନାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ କାମ କର ଏଇ ଇଏ କରିବା କଣ ନା ଆକୁ ଗୋଟେ ମାଇକ୍ରୋଫୋନ ଦେଇଦବା ଟିଚରଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ମାଇକ୍ରୋଫୋନ ଦେଇଦେଲେ ଗୋଟେ ବକ୍ସ ଦେଇଦେଲେ ସେଠି କ୍ଲାସ ରୁମରେ ପୁରା ଲାଗିଯିବ କଣ ବକ୍ସ ଲାଗିଯିବ ପଛ ପିଲାକୁ ଶୁଣାଗଲା। resource we can develop the resource okay so that thing that is the primary need of the educational the institutional development or organizational development okay then second thing is in unit in block 4 that is the management of infrastructure. So there we have to analyze the concept, importance and need of infrastructure management, then management of physical resources, the utilization of infrastructural resources. Then first if you analyze the infrastructure, then we know that school building, library, laboratory, teaching materials, documents, e-library, sports materials, नहीं से जो कौन ना staff boards. So everything we are coming under this infrastructure. नहीं? So if you focus upon this infrastructural management, so what are there are what facilities or what resources we need for this infrastructure, then how we can get infrastructure, who will afford the infrastructure, okay, so that thing we have to analyze. So in while you are focusing upon this infrastructure, then the various coordinating bodies are there, those who will provide funds for the development of infrastructure in the schools. The infrastructure includes or the finance includes the role of the various bodies, the role of various committees and commissions, those who will provide funds for development of infrastructure in various institutions. Okay. So if you analyze the role of coordinating bodies, so first one will be the UGC, University Grant Commission, which was established in 1953 actually, okay, but functioned on in 1956 as a statutory body. So the UGC or University Grant Commission is the only grant giving agency in the country to for the higher education institutions. So for higher education institutions, if you analyze the role of the function of UGC, then from upper level to the college or university level, so it is providing the resource for development of infrastructure in the institutions. Okay, so from teaching till research, examination, so everything and for every aspect, UGC is giving funds. Okay, so for professional courses like those who are pursuing higher education, so the UGC is providing funds. So not only for the infrastructure or the TLM development, but also for the development of human resources, for development of other resources. It is providing funds to the state and central government, state and central functioning institutions, okay, or universities. So it is providing guidelines. It is providing assistance, financial assistance. It is providing all information to for smooth functioning of the institutions. Okay, but while it is providing the funds, so various challenges are also coming, like the diversity programs, structure, curriculum, then ICT. Because throughout India, if you analyze the education system, so even in Odisha, nowadays we are following model curriculum. But before that, various universities they were providing their education, they were providing their syllabus, and accordingly, like autonomous colleges, they were uh, they were following their own rights, with their own uh, what their own structure of education. So for that purpose only, it was very difficult for the UGC to provide them the adequate funds. But if you analyze the second thing, that for the technical education, that is AICT, All India Council for Technical Education. So AICT is meant for the technical education. Question may be asked in various competitive examination that if you are going for any technical diploma courses or any engineering courses, then what is the apex body? Okay, so that is AICT, and if you go through your study material, there is the structure of AICT, so you can get all the things. Okay, so like the structure of AICT. But then, if you analyze the teacher education program, so there is what for teacher education program, what is there? ଯେମିତି କି UGC ରହିଲା ହାୟର ଏଜୁକେସନ ପାଇଁ, AICT ହେଲା ଟେକ୍ନିକାଲ ପାଇଁ, ଟିଚର ଏଜୁକେସନ ପାଇଁ କ'ଣ ଅଛି?
ବିଡି ନହେଲେ
NCT, very good. NCT ଅଛି, and also from various sources, various other private as well as the non-government sources are also there. Those who are providing funds for the education system of the learners. Like if you want to go for foreign studies, okay, or if you want to continue your education in foreign countries, then various programs are also there. They are providing stipend for the learners to study abroad. Okay, ଏଇଭଳିଆ ସବୁ ଅଛି ନା ଯେମିତିକି ଆମେ କହିଲେ ଗୋଟେ ଫୁଲ୍ ବ୍ରାଇଟ୍ ନେହେରୁ ଫେଲୋସିପ୍ ତମେ ଯଦି ଯାଇକି ପଢିବ ୟୁକେରେ ଫୁଲ୍ ବ୍ରାଇଟ୍ ନେହେରୁ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି ସେଥିରେ ତମେ ଯିବ ପଢିପାରିବ ସେଠି ଏ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ସବୁ ଫଣ୍ଡ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି including your visa passport so everything will be provided and you are only going and pursuing degree and studying there. Okay, so that is the different aid. Okay, grant system is also there. So you can go for that. So students loans are also being provided by the various government and non-government organization. Okay, so entrepreneurship also is there. So various entrepreneurial activities or partnerships, they are also providing assistance. So if you analyze the various process of this allocation of funds for the infrastructural development, you can go for this uh, what this committees or these bodies, those who are providing the financial assistance. So for that purpose, we have to focus upon the budgeting. So we have also discussed budgeting in chapter what? କୋଉ chapter budgeting ଥିଲା? ଥିଲା ନା budgeting?
Unit 7.
Unit 7 ଥିଲା। ହଁ Unit 7 ଥିଲା ତମର Unit 6 ଥିଲା କୋଉଟା educational finance ସେ finance purpose ଥିଲା budgeting ନାଇଁ budgeting ଥିଲା ନା ତାପରେ budgeting କଥା ତମେ ଚିନ୍ତା କରିବ cost costing budgeting ଥିଲା ନା ତେଣୁ cost budget କଥା ଚିନ୍ତା କଲେ here you have to focus upon that what is the cost, what is the benefit. So for that purpose, we have to focus upon how to manage the resources. So whether that is long term or the short term. So you have to plan for the long term plan. The strategy should be developed accordingly. Nahi? So what is the purpose of the resources or why the resources are being allocated and whether we are planning for good or good resources or we are planning for the long term benefit or the short term benefit the strategy or the technique we are follow so whether that will bring into improvement or not. Okay, so here we have to focus upon increment of salary. Then also we have to focus upon what is the revenue, so what can be the possible sources of income. Okay, and we have to focus upon that whether the budget that is being allocated will it be sufficient or not. Suppose you are saying that the authority they are not hiking your salary. If they are not hiking, then we have to understand that what is the source and how we are getting that particular financial benefits. So, being an administrator, we have to understand that what can be the possible source of income, source of revenue collection, and without the source of revenue collection, without the source of that, without the source of finance, so we can't afford that much. Okay, so this is the thing that we have to take into account while going for the finance, the management of but management of resources the infrastructural resources. So for infrastructural resources, we have to focus upon that who are the granting authorities or granting bodies, how much financial resources they are providing, and then how we are managing the resources, or what is the process of allocating the budget, and how we are budgeting, whether we are planning properly or not. So these things we have to keep in mind. Okay. Then nowadays, if you analyze the open distance learning, so ODL is rapidly expanding to various countries, and also in open and distance learning system. So it is a very good thing that we are getting education without coming to the classroom, without the, we can say that, wastage of years. Okay. So at a time we can pursue more than one course. So this thing, this is the positive thing we can say that it is the impact in the higher education system. Okay. So for this we are focusing upon that how we are managing the resources. Okay. Next, for next class, we'll discuss the management of physical resources from unit 14 to 20. We'll discuss in the next class. Okay. So till then, I think we'll wind up. And if you go through the materials, you go through the syllabus, and any other resources if you have, you follow. So any doubt if will arise, then we can discuss. Okay. And two class left only. Did class ଅଛି ନା ଆଉ?
ହଁ ସାର୍।
ଆଉ କାଲି ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ସୋମବାର ଅଛି। Okay then, good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.